Hello and welcome to this highlights of the Lego Technics Land Rover Defender model. This is not going to be a full walkthrough on how we built this model, but it's rather going to be a little snippet of what I very much enjoy about Technics, which is the elements that imitate the actual working solutions on real life devices. In this first episode, we're going to talk about the rear suspension of this model, and we're also going to talk about the gearbox. So looking at the instruction set, we see that the rear suspension is the first thing we assemble. And on this diagram, we can see it from top down without the springs and without the dampers installed. We can see here that the element has the knuckles and already has a differential, and that's the final state of the suspension. I have this assembled here so that we can take a look at it. You can see that this build is a little bit further down the road, but we can still see how the suspension operates here. So we can see upper and lower wishbones. We can see in here the CV joints, both at the wheel and at the differential. And finally, we can see the differential itself. We can see the actual differential casing. We can see the pinion gears, and we can see how the differential operates. We can move both of the wheels together. We can move them at different speeds. And we can also have even one wheel reversing while the other is moving forward. This is all very much in line with how we expect a differential to work. And you can see also that if I hold the actual axle, we can see that the wheels are moving in different directions. So that's the little kind of snippet of how a real life differential works, and I love it very much. But one of the highlights of this model, which by the way has about 2,500 parts, is apparently the most sophisticated gearbox produced in a Lego Technic set to date. We can see here the model in the assembled state, but a little bit earlier we can see how the gearbox is actually applied to the rear suspension. You can see that the power transmission is over here in the model, and we can see that the gearbox has 6 shafts that rotate together. It's a very, very interesting concept. We also can see the actual gear selectors here, and we can see how they are being moved around and different gears are being put in the working position. Now, to illustrate it a little bit more, I'm going to apply the lever that limits the movement of this selector to just 4 positions so that we don't have this continuous adjustment, but we have 4 specific positions. So let me install that here. We can look at how it's constructed and installed over to the part of a build. We're going to apply over here, and then we're going to add the spring, the rubber band, to hold it elastically in place. Now we can see how gears are being engaged. We can have first, second, third, fourth position, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing this in a driving model. So this looks very, very interesting. We can see how different output shafts are behaving here, input output shaft, and the actual shafts of our gearbox. I'm looking forward to seeing it in motion. The next part of this review is going to be the central differential, because Land Rover Defender and in this model are four-wheel driven, which means that we need the same kind of differential concept to connect the front and rear axle and to put in and to pass the gearbox output to both of the axles. So you can look forward to that. Then we're gonna probably review also the engine and the front suspension build, and maybe this part with the actual springs and shocks installed, so that we can see how the model will operate when it's actually on wheels. Thank you very much for watching, and watch this space for more videos on this model.